Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Mystic Games. We're going to be doing an Against the Storm video. It's been a while, guys. I haven't done one of these in a minute. We're getting a fishing, finally. This has been a very requested feature since the very beginning of the game. I shouldn't say the very beginning, obviously. Even before 1.0 dropped, fishing was a relatively high requested feature, so to see it coming is very solid. Let's see what it's going to be. So in today's, it's 1.4 sneak peek, we present the new building, the Fishing Hut. So the fishing is part of the free update and it will accompany the DLC, which we already I spoke about a little bit a while back. The DLC's new species, and a new biome is coming, and its release date will be revealed near the end of this month. That's very cool. So when this update comes out, we'll be able to purchase a DLC that will give us a species and biome. Definitely excited for that. Anything that changes the game a little bit's always awesome. Fishing is a new way of acquiring resources from ponds found in glades. They're similarly to regular resources nodes. Okay, I'm not a big fan of that. So they're essentially going to be a node instead of something like farming, which is what I was kind of hoping for, like a permanent resource you get every season. There are also different types of ponds. Okay, so we have an algae pond. You're going to be able to get algae, 1, and then a 40% chance for herbs in a small pond. In a large one, you get 2 algae, and has 50% chance for herbs, and 20% chance for fish. Okay, thunderfish pond, a very common species of eel. They'll give you 1 fish, 40% for scales, and then 2 fish, 50% chance of scales for a large one. Copperfin trout pond, caught primarily its durable scales and fish leather. So I'll give you 1 scale and 50% chance for sea marrow. And then a large one will give you 2 scales, a 50% chance, and a 30% chance for a fish. I find it very interesting that the copperfin trout is only a scale, not a fish itself, which is very interesting. But I see what they're doing here. They're giving you different resources. So we have algae, which is essentially a new resource. Herbs already existed. Fish is new, right? Then you get fish here, and you get scales here, and then you get scales, and then you get sea marrow, which I believe sea marrow is a new resource. I don't think the bone that I'm thinking of was sea marrow. I think it's bones. I think this is different. Of course, the one it's showing isn't having sea marrow. Fishing huts work very similar to camps, so it's more like a camp than a farm. There are 2 types, small and regular, so you have to upgrade it to get the better one for the bigger ponds. You're going to have to get it as a blueprint choice from a trader or via a wild card. It's too bad it's not going to be added in as a... I don't even like the fact that it's a smaller and a bigger. I kind of wish it was more set up like farms, but that's okay. Fishermen don't collect resources like regular guys. They first catch it, the fish and the algae in the net, and then they transport them directly to the warehouse when the entire pond is depleted. So they keep capturing collecting it. Sorry, it's literally, I'm using their words. They keep collecting it essentially, and then until the pond is gone, and then they transfer to the warehouse. So that's very interesting. So, okay, so they all go in nets in your thing, into your storage, right? And then you can send them to the warehouse. That's a very interesting way of doing it. I do like that because that's something different. I do think that's kind of cool. Ponds have a very large number or resource charges in them. 60 for the small is what I'm getting here for this instead of 20. So small ponds get 60 resources. So that's at least somewhat nicer, even though it's not eternal. even the small ones will have a good amount of resources. The intention here was to create a new type of resource gathering mechanism, a mix of non-renewable sources just like regular pods, and a big-time investment with a big yield, similar to farming. So it's like a middle ground. They were trying to find a middle ground, which I guess I'm okay with that. They can use ground bait to double their fishing yield, so you can essentially make that 120, right? And it's also how much you get per yield. Is it only going to be, well, here it's 2. Well, yeah, I guess it told us 1 ray and then 2. It'll be interesting to see how valuable fish and stuff is for food. Players can ground bait is made from pack of crops. That makes pack of crops a little bit more beneficial. And it makes 4 pieces of bait. Bait is created in fishing huts instantly after a fisherman brings the pack of crops into the building. So immediately it happens. It's not like they have to sit there and build it either. We're adding new resources and needs to the game. So hopefully we get to see some differences in our species. This will make room for more new species and new biomes. I honestly really still go on to my... I would like to almost see basic needs, and like minor needs and large needs from like species, so that there are different bonuses. Like instead of just getting like, oh my god, try to explain this real quick before I end this video. But something I would like to see, because I think it would be beneficial to the game, and again, this is my opinion, obviously, is giving species like a 3rd or 4 things that they're good at instead of just 2, but making them not as good. Or adjusting the 2 that they are really good at to be a little bit higher, and then making like 2 more that they're not as good at. So for beavers, just because I'm thinking about them off the top, it's engineering and lumbering they're good at. It'd be interesting to see if they, like, instead of doing like lumbering as a 10% chance, make it a 15% chance of an increased yield or whatever it is off the base, and then still have engineering. We'll just say 15%. That's not really how it works for that one, but we'll just keep it at percentages, right? And then give them either another thing that they're good at, but make it like, you could even take something that another species is good at, but only make it like a 7.5 for it, so that you can actually still use a different species, but if you have the other species, it'd be more beneficial to use that one. I think that in itself just adds so much gameplay. It just adds a layer to the game that I think would be very interesting, because you might not have enough, we'll say, harpies for something, but humans might be able to do it, but they do it at half the rate of the harpy, like clothing or something like that. So you throw the human in there temporarily until you get more harpies, right? And I think a lot of this game is about min-maxing, in a sense, your workers and stuff, so I think that would actually be very cool to do. Anyways, I'm going to end the video there. That's cool that we finally got some news on this new stuff. We're probably going to be getting it in a month and a half or so, maybe 2 months, it sounds like, just from what they're saying, because they're going to reveal it at the end of this month. We're about halfway there now, so I would argue probably somewhere in September or the end of September going into October, we're going to get the DLC and fishing and all that, and the new patch drop. So that's exciting, guys. Anyways, I hope to see you for more Against the Storm videos. Hopefully they give us some more information and I can do a couple drops. But I'm excited to see what we get. I'm thinking we're getting bears. I'm thinking we're getting like bear people or something because of the pond. It would make sense, like something that's good with fish would be released with the fishing system. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Later.